Hello everyone, Rue here back with another Bloodborne sketch and speculate. In the last video I asked people to give me some of their suggestions and I decided to use one of those ideas for today's video. The idea I went with comes from Jay Murphy, who wanted to see an aquatic area that has Dagon-esque creatures and an underwater lair. I love this idea and I thought about how I could tie an area like that into Bloodborne. I had originally thought of a swampy area, but I wanted to do something a little different than that, and I ended up going with a sinking city, inspired by Venice. I have a bunch of photos that I took from a trip there a couple years ago, and thought they would be a good base to pull some textures and architectural inspiration from. For those that are interested in the drawing process, I like to start by doing a loose sketch to figure out the composition. After that, I fill the drawing in with some solids to help set a color palette that I'm using for the piece. I then overlay a lot of different photos and textures to build off of. This gives me a nice base to build from, and also helps speed up the drawing process considerably. These are meant to be relatively quick sketches, so I don't want to be caught up in tiny details. It's also best to have a clear idea as soon as possible what your idea is going to be, so you don't spend a lot of time drawing something that you don't like the composition of. Getting back to Bloodborne, my thought for this location is a once thriving port town that was consumed by a Great One lurking deep beneath the waters. The encounter with the Great One twisted and warped the inhabitants of this town into something else entirely. Their sanity is lost, and they now wander the sunken city, attacking anyone who disturbs the waters. Instead of becoming more beast-like, these people will become more scaled and grow fins. Certain types of enemy could cause frenzy buildup on contact or with special attacks. I think an area like this could have some interesting platforming elements where you have to move across rooftops to avoid falling in the water. I also thought it would be cool if the creatures were blind but could sense your presence if you stepped in puddles or shallow water. As for the deeper water, falling in would mean death like in other Souls games. I like the idea of having an NPC here who would act as a ferryman and transport you across the water to different sections of the city. You would also still have full control of your character during this, so you might have to fight enemies climbing onto the boat or shoot at them from a distance. It could really make the gun you bring to this area factor in a lot more than just a tool for parries. You would also have the option to jump off early in certain spots to access some hidden treasures in the area. The deeper you go into the city, the more twisted it would become as you get closer and closer to the lair of the Great One, who serves as the end boss for this area. It might even be cool if the lair of the Great One wasn't even in the city, but instead you find that someone summoned it to the city, and you have to traverse another nightmare to encounter it, similar to Miklash, Yahar'gul, and the Nightmare of Mensis. The nightmares really open up the game for some really out there areas, and I would love to see some more of them. With a large number of creatures from Lovecraft stories that come from the water, I don't think it would be a huge stretch to see an area like this in a future expansion. It would really be different from anything we've seen in Bloodborne, and could be another great tale of a fallen city. As I'm wrapping up here, I just want to say thank you for all the great suggestions from everyone. There are so many really cool ideas that people have, and I'd love for you to keep sharing. People seem to like this format, so I will definitely do more videos like this, though I do want to switch things up a bit too. I want to try some new types of Bloodborne videos and maybe bring the sketch and speculate format to another game. Still figuring it out, but stay tuned. If you enjoyed this video and you would like to see more, please leave a like and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.